Okay, I want to start by just reminding everyone that this year, and this time that we're marching, it's the 11th anniversary of the invasion and aggression against Afghanistan. And for 11 years now, the courageous people of Afghanistan have suffered under the bombs and the attacks of the US, Canada, and other imperialist forces. So we were here 11 years ago to stand against Canada, the US, and other powers committing this aggression against the people of Afghanistan. And today we reiterate our demand and we affirm our demand that Canada immediately withdraw all of its troops from Afghanistan.
That's right. Right on. Yes. That's right. Yeah.
And furthermore, it reminds us of the importance of the demand that Canada get out of NATO and NORAD, because the way that Canada is hitched to the US war chariot is through NATO and NORAD, aggressive military alliances which Canada must withdraw from immediately. 11 years after the beginning of the US-led invasion of Afghanistan, okay, this is where we stand today. The Harper dictatorship is speaking once more in the language of the 18th century racist ideas of the white man's burden. Of course, they don't say it's the white man's burden today. They talk about the responsibility to protect. They claim that they have humanitarian values. And above all, they say that they're going to save democracy, they're going to impose democracy. So here we have the Harper dictatorship, a government which by any stand is illegitimate. It's illegitimate because it doesn't stand for the interests of the Canadian people, it doesn't uphold the public good. It is part and parcel of annexing Canada to the United States of North American monopolies. This illegitimate government is going to claim with the highest ideals that it is committing aggression and that it is preparing for war in the name of democracy. So we utterly reject this with total contempt. Now what's at stake here? Why is it so important to be here? Not just to be here today, but to really discuss and develop this anti-war movement amongst the people here in Edmonton, across the country, in Canada. What's so important about this? I think that we really have to look seriously and discuss very, very seriously what's being prepared here. And what it is a new war for the redivision of the world. That's what's going on in the Middle East. That's what the US aim and ambition is. It's for redivision of the world. It's about installing the governments which will do US bidding, which will open those nations and peoples to the penetration of the US-dominated monopolies. It's part of the expansion of that United States of North American monopolies. And so this is what's going on. And it's very, very serious that they are trying to get Canadians, you know, to take a stand in favor of war with all of these chauvinist positions and with all of this talk that they're there for humanitarian reasons. Of course there's a humanitarian crisis in Syria. Are they there for that reason? We remember. We have long memories on these things. We remember, and it's our duty, our responsibility to explain to those who do not remember because they were too young what happened in Iraq. All of these things were repeated there. We were told Saddam Hussein was the issue. And we replied, no, it's war and aggression of the imperialists that's the issue. It's American aggression, it's the issue. We do not stand as people who accept this white man's burden that we're going to dictate to the rest of the world what form of government they're going to have, whether they're going to have American style, what they call American style human rights. That means you have rights if you agree with Harper. That means you have rights if you bow down to imperialism, what they call free market economy, what they call multi-party system. And so they say if you don't have that, you're a rogue state. And if you're a rogue state, well, we can attack you at any time. We can do anything to you. And then they try to get everyone to divide up on that. So that's what's at stake. Did I lose my mic? Am I over my 5 minutes? Did you cut me off? Okay. So that's what's at stake, is that this is very, very, very serious war preparations. And so when we come here to take a stand against the really hooligan activities of the Canadian government, against the government and people, against the people of Iran, and against the attempt to wreck their economy, against their attempt to make Iran the issue. How come the issue? And I'm sure many people will raise this. And I see a sign out there that says, how about disarming Israel? Because there's only one country in the U.S. There's only one country that has bombs, nuclear weapons, and that's Israel. So why are they making the fact that Iran needs to develop nuclear energy, which is its right, the issue? We can start with Israel. We can start with disarming the U.S. I'm quite certain that one thing everyone here is clear about is who is the main enemy to peace in this world. It's U.S. imperialism. It's not the Iranian people. It's not the people of Syria. It's not anyone else. So we do not accept that these countries, these states, are our enemies. We do not accept in any way, shape, or form that we are going to allow the issue to become what Harper wants it to become. And we're very, very clear that we here in Canada are going to fight for an anti-war government. That's what we have to do. That's the challenge that faces us. Why is it that we have a government that doesn't represent the needs and interests and wishes of Canadians? Canadians don't want to be warmongers. Canadians would like a country, our country, to take the stand which we've always been told that Canada stood for: peacekeeping and for civilized relations between peoples and nations of this world, for the peaceful resolution of disputes, against war, aggression, and for the self-determination of all people, the right of all people to choose their governments. So we have to, settle scores with this. Why is it that these Harperites can do these things in violation of the needs and wishes of Canadians? And that's the challenge that faces us. So let's say with one voice, hands off Iran, hands off Syria. Canada needs an anti-war government. Thank you.
Hands off Iran! Hands off Syria! Hands off Iran! Hands off Iran! Hands off Iran! Hands off Syria!
No drones in Pakistan!